Everything you do normally every day.
It's summer. It is summer. Yes.
Some movies won't have a bad
That's industrious. Chris is cleaning up. Greg even being around 600 years ago. Yeah, that's what he needs to do. It's not really cool. Like, it doesn't my kid if I do it. So I'm just
Just tell me to escape rages. Tools for me.
Yeah.
Something's wrong with the board president's. What is it? Something's wrong with his computer. So we'll check it out. Yep.
Yeah. I was there at church. I was there too. It's gonna be like nice general business. Yes. Okay.
So just present the agenda.
Okay, we're ready to start the meeting. If we all stand for the pledge. Please remain standing for a moment of silence for the following employees and past employees: George Jokum, Joe Shasta, Joe Nardowitz, and David Sikru. Thank you. Please be seated.
Roll call. Mr. Fernandez. Here. Mrs. Gaddy. Here. Mr. Kraus.
Here.
Mrs. Manini. Here. Mr. Masiello. Here. Mrs. Romano. Mrs. Zibby. Here.
May I have a motion to accept the agenda? Mrs. Romano, second by Mrs. Manini. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Board member reports, Mr. Fernandez. Please.
Yes, Mr. Masiello, I have a couple items. First, I want to start off with this past June, I had the pleasure to attend a couple of kindergarten moving up ceremonies as deals. And one of the days after the ceremony, I stopped by Mrs. Santos, who's now retired, first grade kindergarten class. And I did a little informal survey. I prior read to the class, but I asked them some questions, and I promised them that I would share their responses to my little survey at a board meeting. So here it is. So I asked them, what's the best thing you like at Deals? Number one was field trip, followed by lunch, field day, something called the big toy. I'm not sure what that is, right? I like new things, art, music, and they also mentioned they like a lot magnetic tiles and Legos. For lunch, I asked them, what's your favorite lunch? By far, 3 of them, whether you bring it from home or you purchase it at school or get it at school, and they stated peanut butter was by far somehow 3, followed by pizza at 2, chicken nuggets only got 1, and the following rolls only got 1. Hamburger, yogurt, salad was on there, which I was surprised, right? And tacos. And their favorite physical activity. Soccer was where I got 2 of the students that liked it, along with tag. Jurassic Park, I'm not sure how they do that, someone dresses up as a dinosaur chasing the kids. Pac-Man, followed by Big Toy again, and Pinball Wizard. So I got a little feedback from them, and I said I will certainly share that with the board and with Mrs. Eckert, so you can share with your candidate. So thank you, Mrs. Santos's class, for responding to my little survey of questions. Some additional items. Once again, North Rockland hosted Camp Adventure, and it was a great success. All student, teachers, and staff had great positive things to say. A special thank you to all those that made the enjoyable camp experience happen. That took a lot of effort and work, and we're grateful that that was put together so nicely. North Rockland Navy Junior ROTC cadets Kevin Navarez and Kara Fagelman recently completed the prestigious FBI Teen Academy conducted by the New York Field Office of the Federal Bureau of Investigations. That's a 1-week course, classes and training, and they completed it, and they had a very positive experience. They learned a lot there. On Tuesday, August 27th, all North Rockland schools will be holding open houses. Please check the North Rockland Central School District website for times. All North Rockland schools, students in the audience, I don't want to hear this, all North Rockland schools open on Tuesday, September 3rd. And also, never forget, we have our websites, all the schools have, the North Rockland Central School District has its own website. On there, there's also, on the Board of Education, there's board docs. This agenda that you see up here, that's on there along with previous minutes and how things were voted on and what was discussed. So all that information is up there during budget season. All the budgets that we start presenting in December are posted up there. So there's a lot of information that's available to the public on there. As well, the district utilizes Facebook and Twitter to be able to share communications. And that's all I have, Mr. Massimo.
Thank you, Mr. Fernandez. Does anyone else have a board member report? Okay, seeing that, we'll move on. We're going to have a recognition for a special board member this evening, and I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Eckert.
I know that the board, the members of the community see the board here twice a month and think sometimes without knowing much more that these folks come together twice a month for about an hour and a half and hold a meeting. But in essence, our board members spend much more time dedicating of their time, taking time away from their own families to serve the community that they live in. And one of the things that they do is learn. And besides the weekly packet that they get from me, so they get homework, they're not part of the new homework policy. They will continue to get homework every Friday. So I don't know, they might be lobbying to change the board policy on that. But beyond the amount of reading that they do on a weekly basis to get ready for the meetings, they also do workshops and training and conferences that they attend on their own time, subcommittee meetings. So the New York State School Boards keeps track of the training that they do through New York State School Boards, and once they reach certain amount of hours or milestones, it gets recognized by New York State School Boards. So we're very happy that one of your members has reached mastery level. So New York State School Boards has sent us a certificate, and Rich, you'll be very happy about this. You actually get a present from them as well. You get a portfolio. So to Rich Fernandez, congratulations on having reached the mastery level.
Now, Mr. Fernandez, it took me 10 years to get the board mastery level, and I think you did it in about 5? 4, okay.
Not to be arrogant, you know, no.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. All jokes aside, I'm very fortunate to be able to serve on this school board. It's an honor to serve. And I'm very grateful for the school board members on this board and Mrs. Eckert and her cabinet. I face some personal challenges at times with my health, and they are always extremely supportive. Without your help, I would not be able to serve on here. So I'm very grateful for that, and thank you, the public, for giving me the opportunity to serve on the school board. Thank you.
Now I'd like to call Ed Mopey to come up and join me. Ed is our Director of Technology, and Ed is a person that I personally always count on, and there's never been a no from Ed on any of my knucklehead requests that I sometimes come up with, and it's always like, it'll get done, or I've got it. So those are Ed's key phrases, and we know that we live in a world where families sometimes are not near each other anymore, unfortunately. And there are special events that happen in schools that, grandma or grandpa would love to be part of, or aunts or uncles, or sometimes traveling moms or dads that are traveling for business and are going to miss an event. So one of those key events for us is obviously our North Rockland High School graduation. And although we have thousands of people that show up for those, and we typically graduate anywhere from 580 to 640 kids a year, there are people that sometimes have to miss it, or you have elderly grandparents that can no longer travel, or it's not easy for them, or just live far away. So we wanted to video stream our graduation so that families that are not able to be here can still see their loved one walking across the lawn and getting their name called and sort of be part of sharing that activity. And the first year was kind of like a last minute thing, and Ed put together a phenomenal team of people and did it, and he's been working on that with some of our faculty members, and I really wanted to recognize that group of people that came together to be able to video stream our graduation. And Ed, I don't know if you want to add to that a few things, and then we're going to hold it on.
So roughly about a month or so before graduation, and Mr. Malora, who's here tonight, he runs the NRTV club and also the class within the high school, and he's always constantly asking me, when can we get new stuff? When can we get new stuff? So I gave the task with him and Ed Hoffman to go and search for that new thing. They came back to me with a suggestion, and they brought it's a whole TV production studio in a backpack. So it runs completely off an iPad, wireless access point. We can connect our current cameras that we have and other iPods already in the district. His students in the NRT TV group, they played with it. They came in during finals week. They did 4 or 5 test runs, and if you had the chance to look on the website at the actual production, they absolutely did a phenomenal job. I could not be more proud of the work that they did. So without further ado, we can start calling up their names.
And we're going to start with Ed Mopey. Ryan Armstrong, also one of our teachers. And I realize it's the summer, so many of these students or teachers may not be here, but we do want to get this into the record since we do record these meetings, that we do recognize and appreciate the work that they did. Paul Carano. Another one of our technology teachers, Ed Hoffman. Richard Leguilo. Another one, oh, he's here. Thank you, Rich. Another one of our great tech teachers who is here tonight, Greg Malora. Anthony Mattis. Saeed Muhai. Nicholas Perez. Bernard Sokolowski. And Maya Berhoff. We also have 3 sports awards that were decided on later on in June or July, and we didn't have a chance to recognize these students for their exceptional work during the year. So we would like to recognize them tonight. And I see Coach back there, so why don't you join me up here? Coach Greg Borchers is the coach of our lacrosse team, the girls lacrosse team. And we have one student who has been exceptional in her play, and I always say I'm very proud of our student athletes because they're not just great athletes, they're great students, they're great people. Our athletic teams take part in a lot of fundraising and a lot of community service. They give a lot of themselves, and you know, it's not easy to be a high school athlete. There are a lot of demands on your time, hours that you put in, on and off season. So when you reach this level of excellence, trust me, these kids have given a lot. So Carrie Gunberger, if you're here, please come on down.
It's my privilege to further introduce Carrie. Carrie's been playing lacrosse with me since she was playing on the big toy at Thiel's. But since then, she's really taken it to another level. She is going to graduate, which she's already done, getting ready for our participation at Marist as the all-time leading scorer in North Rockland history. She's a 2-time All-American, and in a couple weeks when it comes out, she's going to be the first Rockland County player or Westchester player ever to be a 2-time All-State player. She's had an unbelievable career, and without saying too much more about the Gunbergers, it's been a privilege and honor to coach Gunberger for the past 15 years with her sisters and her brother as well. So thank you very much to the Gunbergers, and congratulations, Carrie.
So not only did we have one athlete of the season, but we had 2. And Nadia, are you here? No, I don't see her, but Nadia Saunders was also selected as the top Rockland Girls Spring Star Athlete of the Season for the Journal News. I know everyone hears about our Caitlin Tui, but we have a lot of depth in that girls team. And Nadia is just another example of the depth in that girls track team being selected as the Journal News track star of the season for the spring track. So we will be getting her information and her award to her. So congratulations to Nadia. And there's another designation that the Journal News also selects, and that's Scholar Athletes. And these awards are really competitive in the region. It's not just even Rockland County, Rockland and Westchester. And to be designated as a Scholar Athlete, not only do you have to do well in your sport and distinguish yourself in your sport, but you also have to have high academic achievement. And again, I mentioned before how proud I always am of our student athletes, because in many, I think 90 or more % of our teams also get that award yearly for having high academic averages as a team. So our students are doing well, not just in sports, but academically, and it makes us all very proud. But as I said also before, what makes me even more proud is just they're great, nice people. And that's important as we grow them together. But the last one to receive the academic and scholar athlete was Jake Breyer. Jake, come on down. And Jake was a wrestler. Jake, I know you will. I'm going to just make the announcement on our lunch that we discussed in terms of community eligibility, just because this gets streamed. And I will be sending it connected to the whole school community in the next week or so, announcing that. But as you know, Ray keeps, our lunch director, keeps close watch on our free and reduced numbers, and we were always anticipating being able to participate in the community eligibility program, which will allow students to receive a free breakfast and lunch, regardless of the parent's income. And finally, this last year, after our numbers at the end of the year, we submitted again our application, and this time we were accepted, and we did have numbers high enough to be able to qualify us for the community eligibility in grades, unfortunately, K through 6 only. So we don't have the numbers yet at Fieldstone in the high school, but we're very close. So maybe in the coming year or two, we will continue to keep an eye on those numbers and apply if we meet the threshold. But we did meet the threshold in grades K through 6. So every single one of our elementary schools, the students will be eligible to receive free breakfast and lunch at no cost to our local taxpayers. It's a federal program that's administered through the state. So it's great for us and for our community to be able to offer that to our little ones. And again, we'll be keeping an eye on Fieldstone in the high school, and we may reach that threshold in the next few years, but at least parents can receive a little bit of a break in terms of the free meals at school. They still can contribute through school bucks to their accounts, and the students want to buy snacks. That's not included in the program. So the students can contribute to buy snacks and use the My School Bucks account for that. And we still need to ask parents to fill out the free and reduced lunch if they qualify income level, because we do need those counts for other federal programs that we get funding through, like Title I, Title II, Title III. So all that will be explained in the flyer that goes home, and it was explained in a letter that will go home with the lunch form. So, but just in case, I know sometimes you are asked as board members, I just want you to know that that's why we need them to continue to fill out the free and reduced lunch form if they qualified income level, so that we can use our numbers for those other grant opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Ecker. We're going to scroll down to number 7 on old business. Is any old business to attend? Correspondence.
Juliana Manini and Joseph LaBarber to the estate of Charles Freifogel and Mrs. Ecker for being selected as the recipients of the Charles Freifogel Estate Scholarship. Thank you.
Okay, any other correspondence? We're up to public comment. Seeing that there was no one on the list, public comment. We move forward to retirement. And if I may, Mr. Fernandez, would you like to read that?
Whereas Ms. Joanne Anderson has served the North Rockland Central School District with dedication for a total of 21 years, and whereas she has submitted her resignation for retirement purposes, therefore be it resolved that the Board of Education, upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, hereby accepts with deep regret the resignation of Joanne Anderson, Senior Clerk Typist, effective August 31st, 2019. And be it further resolved that the Board of Education wishes Ms. Anderson and her family much happiness in the future.
May I have a second by the whole board?
Yes.
Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes 7-0. We have number 11, action item, extra duty assignments. Mr. Kraus, do you have that available to read?
Yes.
And the microphone as well. Yeah, you have to. No?
You just need a motion to approve it.
Okay. All right, then may I have motion to approve? Mr. Kraus, seconded. Mrs. Manini. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
One abstention.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, thank you. We have one abstention, Mary. So motion passes 6-0 and one abstention. Next item is the consent agenda. Use of the consent agenda permits the Board of Education to make more effective use of time by adopting a single motion to cover those relatively routine matters which are included. Any member of the board who wishes to discuss a particular piece of business on the consent agenda may so indicate, and that item will be transferred to the regular agenda for consideration and a separate vote, thus preserving the right of all board members to be heard on any issue.
Mr. Maciel.
Okay, Ms. Getty, yes.
Item 20.5 needs, 20.05 needs to be amended because as it reads now, its lunch price is only through 8th grade and it has to be amended to include the high school at $3.25.
Correct. Okay, so thank you for that
I
amendment.
would like to make a motion that we amend that and then I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
Okay, to give you the second on your first motion. Mrs. Zugabe? Any discussion on that further? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 7-0. And Mrs. Gaddy, then the motion for
The consent agenda.
to move the consent agenda by Mrs. Gaddy, second by Mr. Fernandez. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0. There were several people that were appointed for positions in the consent agenda. If they are available, would you please stand? And if you wouldn't mind, one at a time, tell us what's your name and which school.
Hi, I'll give Farley
Farley Elementary. Congratulations. Excellent.
Hi, I'm Ryan Tobin. I'll be at the Rockland High School extinction.
Hi, I'm Jessica Shelley. I'll be at Haversham Elementary School as a reader.
Congratulations to you all. Thanks for coming aboard, and we'll hope you have a great year. May I have a motion for, wow, it must be the adjournment. Mrs. Zuckerby, second by Mrs. Manini. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Thank you all very much for coming tonight. Do we have a correct time on that, Mr. Crouch?